I want to give you guys a little recap type thing of my testimony, because I feel like I haven't really talked about my testimony in a while. I mean, I made a little TikTok on it like 5 months ago or something, but I figured I'd touch on this again because I really have not made a true video telling you guys my whole story of how I came to God and how I started making these videos and all this stuff since I really like started this channel, like for real started it. And this is gonna be my second round of trying to film this, because last time I did, I started touching up on things that weren't really that interesting or important at all. So basically, we'll start out with this. I grew up in a very small town called St. Jacob, Illinois, about 30 minutes or so from St. Louis, Missouri, so Southern Illinois. And I went to a United Church of Christ there, which is not the same as Church of Christ. It's completely different. It's kind of like a Methodist church, if you guys have been to a church like that before. Like, we sang a bunch of like old church hymns, and it was very traditional. It was not Baptist. It was very structured, if that makes any sense. But I grew up going to that church. My mom became the youth group leader. I mean, I went through Sunday school, went through confirmation, went on a mission trip there with my friends too, and did a lot of stuff at that church. And really, throughout my whole life and my whole childhood, I feel like I really just kind of went through the motions. I didn't really have a true relationship with God. I mean, I had this sort of routine of praying to God before I went to bed every night. And I think that kind of started with my dad whenever I was probably 8 or so. I'm not sure when, but I got this Bible when I was in Sunday school called the Good News Bible, which is basically like the English Standard Version Bible. And it has like little doodle pictures in it and stuff too. But anyways, my dad, he used to read the Gospels to me before I went to bed. And I think that's kind of what started me praying before I went to bed. But I just remember that was a big routine. Like, before I found God, like my whole life, I'd always prayed before bed. And it was mainly the same prayer every night. It was always like, "Dear God, thank you for this day. Please keep my family safe and healthy. I pray that I wake up again tomorrow and have a great day. And please help all those who are in need." And then that was pretty much it. And that was what I prayed like every single night before I went to bed. I never really had a true relationship with God. I didn't understand what that meant. I never really was told about that. Because like I said, my church, it was very structured. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't Catholic, but it was very structured in a way where I don't think we emphasized the relationship with God enough. But anyways, I had wanted to create content like my entire life. I had wanted to make videos my entire life. I would record things on my phone all the time. I wanted to like post on YouTube, just me like playing with Angry Birds, stuffed animals, and all kinds of stupid stuff. Legos, because I loved Legos. I loved Angry Birds. I loved that stuff when I was a kid. And then when I was in middle school, Super Mario Logan, which obviously is a horrible thing that I was watching, with Jeffy and all that, I was super into that. So then I started creating my own, and that's when I first really started to post on YouTube publicly. And I started, like, you guys can go back on my channel and you can find some of those, but basically I made these skits with Mario stuffed animals and Angry Birds stuffed animals. I don't know, but I made these skits and posted those on YouTube. And then people at school found them, some friends and that, but then other people made fun of me for it. So I threw a fit, deleted them. I was upset, and that was pretty much where YouTube ended. And COVID kind of hit, and it's hard to tell a testimony because I feel like my life, like, there's so many different things. But I want to highlight on the content side of things and like the church side of things. So that's really what we're gonna hit on. But basically, COVID hit, and TikTok went crazy. That's really when I got TikTok was like end of 2019, around like December 2019, and then I had it during COVID, and I was just seeing kind of like all these crazy people blowing up, like Charli D'Amelio, all this stuff. And I was just like, man, I kind of want to make videos now. So then I made a few like just like stupid videos, but nothing ever really happened with them. It was just kind of like just me being dumb, just messing around. I like to be stupid, but I made those. Nothing happened. I just kind of forgot about it. I wasn't consistent with it. I never took time to figure it out. That was just kind of it. And then randomly throughout high school and that, I made a couple videos of me dancing or just being just random stuff. And I don't really know what happened, bro. But basically, we'll get into where my life really got flipped upside down. So I was living in high school. I never drank, I never smoked, I never did anything like that. I don't know. It just never seemed appealing to me. So I really stayed away from that. Some of my friends did, but I never did. And I had two close friends that we were super close throughout high school. We hung out all the time, and I was just a normal kid in high school. I just did the normal things. I still was praying before bed. I didn't really have that relationship with God, though. I was still just kind of going to church, going through the motions still. And then I got this girlfriend, and this girlfriend, I don't know how to really explain it, but basically I had to, like, I don't know. It was more like I was super needy. It was my first girlfriend, and other people say this too. Your first girlfriend, you're always just like consumed by them. You're just so attached. And that's kind of what it was for me. Like, when she wasn't there, like, I was just looking forward to the next time we hung out. Like, I didn't know God. I didn't worship God. I didn't have God. So that was my only source of fulfillment. That was my only source of happiness, pretty much, was just when that girl was around. And then it turned into that girl didn't even really want to hang out with me that much anymore. So then I was just, like, on my own, like, begging for attention. Like, I was trying to text her all the time, and she would constantly blow me off on hanging out, and it just wasn't good, dude. I was kind of doing some things I shouldn't have been doing, and then it pretty much, I ended up breaking up with her. It was like a whole falling out type of thing, and then a little bit later down the road, that was when I really started getting into lifting in the gym, and I started posting. That was when I really started to post again. I started to post working out type videos with quotes on them, motivational type stuff, because I really started to get into that again. I had worked out for probably like 3 years, like inconsistently. I would go in, do like legs one day and then arms the next day, something like that. But then that's when I really started to get consistent. I started to figure out working out in the gym. I started to actually enjoy it. And it was just kind of a way to escape, a way to do something. I was trying to change my life, bro. I was trying to fix things around. And through posting those videos, some people on my track team at school or whatever, I don't want to get into it because I forgive them, but I think this is important to tell for the story. I was out of town visiting family, and then I woke up to a video that was sent to me late that night. They had a sleepover together, and I didn't go because this was the first meet of Cross, and usually that meet we go and visit family down in Arkansas. So I was down in Arkansas, and I got this video texted me by one of my close buddies, and it was like the rest of the team like talking crap about me, saying that I think I'm David Goggins by posting all these videos, and saying how I don't deserve to be varsity, somebody needs to kick me off varsity, and just who do I think I am, just all this stuff like that. So it really upset me, and I didn't really have much of anybody else except for my friends on that team, and it was honestly like heartbreaking for me, bro. So I pretty much lost a girlfriend, and then I lost friends too, and I didn't handle it well. I should have just went straight up to them, talked to them about it, and worked it out, but I didn't. I held it in and just didn't talk to them for like probably a month or two. And they were all having hangouts, sleepovers and stuff. Practice kind of sucked for me because it was like every day I would just show up, I'd just go do my practice stuff. I literally would not talk to anybody. It was just me, bro. So I had practice in that, and then after that I would go to the gym. I'll start going to the gym in the morning next semester. But anyways, I went through that, and then I slowly started to talk to them again, like about a month and a half later. I kind of like, we made up and stuff. And then I ended up meeting this girl. It was like last meet of Cross. I did really good, and then I went and hung out with this one girl I met on Snapchat, because I had been Snapchatting girls for a while, and to be honest, I was really struggling with lust with girls, always needing and wanting a girl, and I found this girl, and she seemed like she was like the only one that just actually like talked, like actually talks to me normal, like actually start up a conversation. You know how Snapchat is. Like, people leave you unopened. People just play games with you and just don't even care. That's why I hate that app. But anyways, she actually talked to me. She actually like, was interested in stuff. So we ended up hanging out, and it was like a complete opposite from what I had before. This time I didn't care. This time I didn't like. I felt like I actually trusted her. I didn't really long as much for that attention. It was just more balanced, and I just felt like it was just everything that I really needed. This girl like actually talked more, wasn't as quiet. My parents liked her, and it just like kind of worked great. But then randomly, she's like, one week she just started being weird, like removing me from her private stories, and like kept like unpinning me as her best friend, just doing weird things. I don't know how to explain it. Just like little subtle things. I was just like, why are you doing this? She never really had a good explanation. And then all of a sudden, like, we were supposed to hang out this one day, and I'm not trying to be a pick me, bro, but I'll just be honest. Like, she just all of a sudden like ghosted me. And the night before, me and my buddy, we both went and got flowers. He got one for his girlfriend. I got one for this girl. We weren't dating yet, but I just wanted to get him for. And I was actually thinking about asking her to be my girlfriend to make like official that we were dating and stuff. But then the next day she ghosted me, and that was it. I like never heard from her again. I like texted her, trying to get her to reply like on Instagram and that, because she like removed me on Snap and stuff. It just like all of a sudden, just like that, it was just gone. And she basically said that she didn't think she was ready yet. I mean, I did show her to a few people in my family, I think too soon. I think I rushed it a little bit, so I think I kind of freaked her out with that. I don't really know what it was, bro, but she just disappeared. And I got her to talk to me again, like about like a week or two after that. She snapped me for like a day, and then she ghosted me again. So, and I didn't remember this at the time, but I know that I prayed this prayer. I said, God, if this girl is not from you, then take her out of my life. And I didn't even really know God at that time, but I'm pretty sure, I'm almost positive I prayed that prayer. And it wasn't even a week after that, she all of a sudden switched up and just disappeared. So, if that ain't God, I don't know what is. But then basically after that, it sent me into a downward spiral. I was actually like so messed up after that, because that girl like just seemed like perfect to me. It was just like, it was everything I ever wanted. I didn't really know what to do, bro. And I spent the next like month and a half snapping girls like crazy, bored out of my mind, lusting like crazy, and that's all I did. I snapped girls, like added my entire quick ad, and just kept seeking for attention and just trying to find somebody to give me attention. And it got so bad, guys, I'll be completely honest and vulnerable, that I was sending pictures to people and stuff, and I lost it, dude. I completely lost God. I completely lost everything of who I was. Like, it killed me, dude. It really killed me. And it wasn't until like, I guess mid-January, I finally decided one night, like it was kind of a slow process. I kept deleting Snapchat, getting back, and I was just like, God, I can't do this anymore. I can't live in this lust anymore. I can't be like this anymore. And I was just so tired of it, because that was like the peak of me struggling with lust. And I had struggled with it for probably like 5 years. And I was just ready to be done with it. I was so tired of it. I was so tired of doing it. It's just terrible, bro. And all of a sudden, it's just like God got rid of it. Like, I slowly started to seek God more. I started reading my word. I just tried to find God more and praying to him more, talking to him. And my desire for that completely disappeared. And I couldn't even explain it. I was still going to the gym the whole time throughout all this. And what I feel like really motivated me in my journey through faith was this podcast by Gabriella and Elisa. And I don't know if you guys know who she is, but she had this podcast called Always by Your Side. This girl, like a weird history with this girl, because she used to be like a TikTok thought, basically. And I used to watch her videos and crap when I was struggling with lust really bad. And then around the time that my life was like completely flipped upside down, I found videos of her like crying, and she was like finding God and like really going through it. And I was just like, oh dang, I didn't expect that. And then I remember her saying something about a podcast. And then earlier on in January, when I was like getting rid of lust, I started trying out her podcast and listening to it. And that's truly, I feel like, a big thing that pushed me to keep changing things in my walk in God and learning things. So basically, the whole like second semester, like this is January like 2024, bro. That's crazy to think about. So I was going to the gym all the time. I started making videos, like skit type videos, on a different account. I started a new account. I was really just focused on growing. That's really all I cared about, was getting followers. And I was just making trendy type videos, little POV type videos, being stupid, messing around like that, because I like to joke around. So it was kind of stuff like that. And I was making those type of videos, and then slowly, sorry, somebody texted me, I'm just kind of thinking. So I was making those videos, but then at the same time, I was also running an account that was like a self-improvement, but also God type videos. So I was running two accounts at once, and then it turned into I dropped the God type videos and then locked in on the POV type videos. And that's like, I was posting like 3 times a day. I was cranking out videos, and that's literally the whole thing I was working on, was that and the gym. So I was focusing on those for a long time. And then all of a sudden I was like, you know what? People are just watching these videos and they're just like giggling at it, maybe relating to it, but then they're just scrolling right past. I'm not having an actual impact on people. Nobody's actually resonating with me. I'm just reposting what other people have already made, but with me in it. And it's just like, I'm not really making an impact. And that's honestly what I always wanted to do, was to make some sort of impact, some sort of help for people. So I quit posting on that account and then completely locked in on the God account that I had originally. And since then, I haven't stopped posting. That's now the TikTok that I use today. And I post on there, and I mean, it's just been steady since then. It really hasn't gone crazy yet. We're still going strong on it. But around April, like end of April, I posted a video talking about modesty, talking about dressing more modestly, and talking about girls. It was something like that. And I don't think I worded it the best way I could have. And it resulted in a lot of public backlash at school. Like, people were like super mad at me. I had a ton of comments from girls at school commenting on there, super aggravated with me. And then it turned out the same day that that was going on, we had our county track meet. So then all the freshmen on the bus, and a bunch of other people too on the bus, thought it was so funny. They started creating these fake accounts of me, like Dalton in a bikini, former bikini wear, Dalton's this, Dalton's lawyer, all this stuff, and like commenting on it, just kind of making people super aggravated in the comments, just like stirring the pot. And dude, it was insane. I don't even know how to explain it, but I was stressed out to no end because I had a 4x8 to run. I had races to run. The meet was also getting rained out too, so we were like on a delay, and I was just sitting in the bus and all this was happening. I was just like, God, please help me. I literally don't know what to do. Like, it was so stressful, dude. It was just this weight on me. It was terrible. And then basically, I ran my race with everybody screaming at me like the entire time, because the girls were there at this meet too. So I had people screaming at me at this meet. Like, what my new nickname was for the rest of high school was Alpha. I was the Alpha. So they were just screaming Alpha at me. And I actually ended up running really good though. So that was that was the cool, funny part. But then later that night, I was praying before bed like I always do. And I was really just stressed out. And I kept, during this time, I was reading the Word, and I was really seeking God, like I was saying before. I was actually a lifeguard at work, and a lot of times I'd have 15-minute breaks, and I would just sit in the office and I would just read on my breaks instead of scrolling on my phone, because I was really trying to get that together too. And so I was really getting this feeling to read. I was like, bro, you need to read, you need to read. I just kept getting this feeling that I needed to read while I was praying. And I was about to go to bed, so I was like, okay, fine. So I got up, turned my light back on, and then just picked up. I was in the middle of Acts reading. I was in the middle. I was like I was on like Acts 18. So I just started reading. And then I get up to Acts 18, verse 9, where it says, "One night the Lord said to Paul in a vision, 'Do not be afraid, but speak, and do not be silent, for I am with you, and no one will lay a hand on you to harm you, for there are many people in this city who are my people.'" And I read this and I was like, no way. Like, I never had God speak to me like that. That was like the first time God truly, like, really spoke to me, especially through his word. And I was just like, dude, this is a sign and a half. And it was just like God's biggest comfort to me of like, you're going to be all right. Don't worry about other people's opinions. Don't worry about what everybody's saying. You're going to make it through this. And I was really just worried about the next day of school, because I was only at school that day when that all blew up and went crazy, like half a day, because we had a track meet. So I didn't really have to deal with anybody yet. But then the next day I knew I was going to have to. So I was so stressed out, dude. But then God was like, dude, I'm with you. And that just helped me. And pretty much after that, there was this one girl on the team who really was kind of against me. And she knew my mom, because my mom kind of knows a decent amount of people at school, because she was a nurse. And then a lot of people at my school went to her doctor's office and they were patients and stuff. But anyways, this one girl was like talking to other people, saying that she was going to text my mom or something. My mom wasn't living with us anymore at the time. No, my parents are not divorced. It's because my mom moved down to Arkansas before we did. So my mom was getting a job down here. So my mom was down here. She wasn't. It was just me and my dad at the house. And she kept saying that, and I was just worried. I hadn't really talked to my parents about what all happened yet. And so I called my mom, explaining to her what happened. And my mom wasn't really happy about it, even though I thought she was going to be kind of okay with it for some reason. My mom wasn't happy with it either, because my mom seen the video, seen kind of how I worded it and what I said, and it wasn't good. So basically, my mom had me take the video down. Same with my dad. My parents were just like, dude, we're trying to move, because the plan was, like, after I graduated, my family, we were moving down to Arkansas to be closer to family, because we were just ready to get out of Illinois. And basically, I had to get rid of that, and my parents they wanted me to take a break from posting, which was hard for me, but just so we didn't have to deal with any more problems for the rest of high school. So just finish high school, no more drama, no more bull crap, because there was a lot of people threatening me with all kinds of stuff, messaging me and crap. But basically, from listening to that podcast, I really got inspired to make my own podcast. So once I was done with school, which wasn't that long after that, it was like, 2 weeks, because I got out like May 5th or 9th or something, and then that was the end for me. So once I got out, I immediately started posting again. I started posting the TikToks again and then I started my own podcast. And really what it was, I called it Real Talk, and it was supposed to be like kind of real bro to bro talk with my friends, talking about God, talking about things like that, about self-improvement type things. And so I started that, and I really was, twice a week I was putting a podcast out, and I was putting it here on the YouTube channel too. So I did that for a long time, and we'll get to that in a second. Let's finish off. So I graduated, and basically everybody was kicking me out of the senior group and stuff, saying they were going to boo me at graduation. Every time my friends would add me back to the senior group me for all the fun senior stuff we were going to do, they just kept removing me and being turds. So I pretty much got shunned out of my senior class. And then at graduation, I graduated, nothing happened. There was maybe a little tiny alpha in the crowd from when I walked, but that was it. Nobody did anything. There was nothing like that. I mean, I was jokingly called alpha by people for the rest of the year, but that was really it. Nothing happened. And it's really just taught me that, like, people will do so much online. They'll say so much stuff, but they'll really do nothing in person. And the truth of it is, why are we caring so much about other people's opinions when we should be caring about God's opinion? And the fact that people really are so much more worried about themselves and their own things rather than you. And it's so crazy to me now, because this is like about yeah, it's coming up on a year since that stuff all happened. And these people now, like I'm graduated from high school, I haven't heard from these people. I haven't seen these people since then, bro. It's like they disappeared off the face of the earth. And it's like, these people aren't going to do nothing to you, bro. You have nothing to worry about. So that's really just what I've been learning. And so basically, graduated, like I was saying, nothing really happened. Moved down here to Arkansas. I'm here now. And I've kept making the podcast till around, I guess, like September or so. I'm not sure. But then I quit doing it because it was just hard to find people, especially when I moved down here. I did a lot with my friends in Illinois before I moved. And then when I moved down here, it was a lot harder. I did one with a pastor down here and stuff. But then after that, there was a lot that I did by myself. And I just felt like they weren't as genuine. They weren't just me freely talking because I was kind of glued to a topic. And I just kind of put a pause on YouTube for a while and mainly just focused on the TikToks, and that was about it. And I really, since I moved down south, I mean, I'm in the Bible Belt now, but it's really kind of helped me a lot with growing closer to God. I ended up getting a job at Chick-fil-A down here, and I met a lot of good guys that are really focused on their faith, and it's really helped me to grow. I've gone to a lot of different churches and going to a Baptist church now, and I've met a lot of good people that are really strong in their faith, and it's really kind of helped me as well and motivated me as well, pushed me in the right direction, helped me to trust God, as well as, I haven't even talked about this yet, but now I'm running marathons too. I thought I was going to quit track, but no, I'm still running. Now I'm running marathons, and I'm doing that as well, and it's really just, it's been cool to see how God develops me, develops what I'm doing, and I've had a lot of hard times trusting God and being able to be patient, because for some reason in my dumb kid brain, I just thought I was going to get out of high school, move exactly where I wanted to be, and just be successful somehow. I mean, but it takes time, dude. It definitely takes time. So, and now we're where we are now. I've ran 2 marathons at this point. My 3rd is coming up soon at the end of this month. I've started posting on YouTube again. I've really tried to make my content a lot more free range. I feel like I was kind of putting myself in a box before, trying to make myself look like my content looked so like perfect, and it was very structured, almost like how my church used to be that I didn't get much out of from the actual church part. I'm trying to make my stuff more just what's on my mind and what I want to talk about. And it's kind of hard sometimes because it's different talking to a screen than talking to an actual person. But it's really been great, and it's really been freeing, because I'm someone who, I don't really listen to music much anymore. I really just like to think to myself a lot of times. And talk to God. And it's just like, this allows me to kind of put my thoughts out there and see if maybe these thoughts can help you. Maybe these thoughts are something that you've had and you can relate to. So that's really where I am now. And I hope maybe this video, maybe this testimony is related to you. I'm not an amazing storyteller. I need to work on that, because it's hard with the testimony, because dude, there's so many other things I could have talked about in here too. I could tell you my entire life story, but we'd be here for like an hour, and there's a lot of boring things that really don't matter that much, so it's kind of like whatever. But I want to make this video because I haven't really retouched my testimony as much, but that's where I am now. I'm making videos for you guys. I'm trying to have an impact. I'm trying to draw people closer to God, because He is who saved me. He's who saved me from my lust. He's who saved me from depression, from all kinds of things, bro. Because I don't know how I would have purpose. I don't know how I'd be even doing anything. I don't know how I was doing things before. I really don't know. But I believe we all need God, and we all need a relationship with Jesus Christ, because He's where true purpose comes from. He's the true person who's going to fulfill us forever, while the things of this world are going to perish just like that. So I hope this helps y'all. Y'all have a great day, and God bless you.